Welcome to another reading of Voices of Gehenna. In this installment, I'm going to be reading chapter 13 of the ongoing series of Voices of Gehenna, the adventures of Benjamin Boaz Hill, or we should know him as Dr. Hill. He's an interviewer, a prisoner interviewer, a criminal psychologist. So follow his adventures. If you never caught up, start with chapter 1 for those who coming through. So you get to learn about the characters, the lore, the backstories of some of these characters. I've been building this project for, I want to say, since the beginning of, well, actually, I started this project towards the end of last year. So this is the 13th installment of Voices of Gehenna, chapter 13. So stay tuned as I read this. Now, this is a story for adults, young adults to adults, not for children. If this was on TV, it'd be rated TVMA. Strong language, violence, adult situations. So, parental advisory. Parental advisory. But okay, family, let's get into it. Voices of Gehenna, chapter 13. Let's get straight into that. My treatment was done, and my body felt brand new. When I woke up, my vision was a little blurry. Shanice came to my aid and started to wipe my face with a cloth. Easy, Benny. Don't rush the process. You did fine while being placed in the tank, she said while helping me out of the corona tank. I took the oxygen mask off my face and inhaled some fresh air. I walked to the area where my clothes were and started dressing. While putting on my clothes, I heard a familiar voice. Oh snap, I said to myself. How was his treatment inside the tank? The voice said in a deep tone. Benny did great, and everything went smoothly, Shanice answered. I had seen the man Shanice was talking with. I was nervous to see it was Warden Jabril. The man towered over me and made me feel like I was short. His face was calm, but I could tell he was pissed off beyond measure. Come here, Benjamin Hill. I need to speak with you. Warden Jabril asserted dominance. Be easy on him, Warden Jabril. He's only human, Shanice advised. The warden scoffed. This isn't an occurrence to go easy on nobody. This breach is responsible for the deaths of many good men who were loyal to their duties as guards at GSP. I'm sorry this breach happened, but don't blame me for it. I'm just an average man who was hired here to interview your inmates, sir, I protest. You're getting bold, I see, Mr. Hill, but being bold isn't guaranteed to keep your job. Your actions were out of order. I gave you direct orders to stay put during the breach. You deliberately disobeyed them, Warden Jabril said in a serious tone. I know the warden was right, but I refuse to be to blame for this breach. I will defend my claim no matter what. I was tense, and it was chaos down there. I couldn't just stand there like a sitting duck. Subject 027 was a huge help. Truth be told, without him, I probably would be dead. The child has amazing powers. I mentioned this to the warden. The warden crosses his arms and shook his head. That boy is a weapon that needs to be kept down here. 027 injured a few of my guards. He just earned more time for his stay here at Gehenna. Benny, I know you're a human, but that doesn't excuse what you have done. You use a firearm without a, you use a firearm without my permission. The goblin you shot was a test subject for Dr. Sparks' experiments. They probably were more scared than you were, Warden Jabril said. Benny didn't know about the test subjects. He acted on his human instinct when he shot the goblin. I say Benny did the creature a favor by taking him out. Only God knows what kind of experiments Dr. Spark was performing on his test subjects. Shanice added, I appreciate your concerns, Miss Dreamcott, but this is a serious matter. We will meet in the conference room to discuss this situation. Warren Jabril replied. Warren Jabril turns to me. Benny, you ought to report to the prison staff conference room located on the first level of the prison. The staff and I will decide to let you go or stay on the staff. You can't be serious, Warden Jabril. I was just hired at this prison, I protest. I know some of the staff here like you, but this isn't a damn playground. This is a prison for some of the most dangerous supernatural criminals in the world. Today we lost over 45 lives due to this breach. Some of these guards had families. The director of the IFIB isn't going to be pleased with this breach happening. He has a lot on his hands already. My condolences, sir, but don't blame me for all this. If you want to blame someone, blame old Rollingback. I know he's confined here, but you said yourself that he's still a threat. He still is a threat. Maybe he could have used some kind of influence on a guard to cause the breach, I replied. Benny has a good point, sir. Benny is a smart man, and he's not the one to be blamed for all this, Shanice added while smiling. You're not out of the woods yet, Mr. Hill. We will finish this discussion in the conference room. Meet us there at 3 in the afternoon. Warren Jabril instructed while walking into a light portal. Thank you for standing with me, Shanice, I said. You're welcome, Benny. Warren Jabril is a stern man, but he's fair. No matter what happens later, I'm glad I met you, Shanice Dreamcotton said. You say that like I'm going to get fired. Trust me, Shanice, I ain't going nowhere. Warren Jabril knows I'm the best they have for this job. His pride doesn't allow him to see it, though. I read about the history of the former interviewers at Gehenna. Most of them last about 3 months. I heard that some of them had to be placed in the psych ward. The IFIB had to wipe some of their memories I mentioned. Benny, I hope that you don't end up like the former interviewers. I read your resume and it said you have dealt with some criminals before. The criminals here aren't average humans. They are monsters and entities that most mundane people fear, Shanice replied. Yeah, I have interviewed some dangerous criminals before. Most of them are serving life sentences. Some of them were redeemable. I was able to get a few inmates released due to good behavior and by putting a good word about them. I intend to do the same here at Gehenna, I said with confidence. Shanice's face had a look of awe for a moment. That's a tall order for you, Benny. I doubt Warden Jabril is going to let you convince him to free an inmate here. If most of the inmates of GSP were to be freed, they'll go right back to doing crimes. True, but some of them can still be redeemed. Like the alpha human inmates, they can be ordered to join a superhero team or organization, I stated. Shanice chuckled for a moment. I doubt that, Benny. I can't imagine someone like Death Circuit, Ray Fist, or Fireflower joining the good guys. Can you imagine Captain Redrum being a good guy? You will only see that in the Twilight Zone. Point taken, Shanice. But trust me, my job isn't finished yet. I'm ready to face this conference and the staff members. Warren Jabril thinks he's just going to fire me. Well, I got something under my sleeve, I said boldly. What do you have under your sleeve, Benny? She asked. I glanced and smiled at Shanice. Just wait and see. GSP Prison Staff Conference Room. Shanice and I entered the conference room. I spotted a few familiar faces in the room. They all turned and looked at me. Warren Jabril was sitting at the head of the table. Sitting at the table were Captain Ronnie, Dr. Spark, Jeremiah Wisebeard, August Daisywin, and some other beings I haven't met before. Shanice instructed me to sit next to Captain Ronnie. I took my seat and sat down. I was sitting in a chair between Captain Ronnie and Shanice. The staff faced the direction where the warden was and rise to salute him. You may be seated, Warden Jabril instructed the staff in the room. Today, we are here to discuss a serious matter. A breach has taken place today at my prison. This breach has resulted in the deaths of over 45 guards and the injuries of many. My assistant, August Daisywin, and I had successfully killed the basilisk. Jeremiah Wisebeard, with the help of reinforcements sent by Alabras, Felderstrand, and Sergeant Greyhide, was able to slay the Hydra. Captain Ronnie and Dr. Dream Cotton was able to contain subjects 0, 23, and 27 and place them back in their cells. August hands the warden a folder with papers. The warden looks at me with a serious look. I did my best to remain calm. The warden started to go over the reports and statements of the other employees. Mr. Benjamin Hill, I read Officer Bruner's report. His report stated that you have taken his rifle and sidearm. He also said you tried to coerce him to leave the area where you were. Officer Lumberford's report mentioned you tried to lie by saying you had to go to the restroom. You tried to resist, but he restrained you by grabbing you. Also, I gave these two officers orders to watch you, and you failed to obey them, Warren Jabril mentioned. The staff all looked at me and began to murmur. I assumed the big man with the gray hair and eye patch is Sergeant Greyhide, due to him low growling. The Native American man with the hawk wings must be Alabras Featherstrand. Half of the staff probably wanted to see me get fired. Well, I'm not going out that easily. Warden Jabril addresses the room. Before I allow Mr. Hill to defend his claim, I will let a few staff members speak. Who wants to speak first? I'll go first, an older ARC guard said with a raspy voice. Speak your claim, Sergeant Grom, the warden instructed. Thank you, sir. This puny human has caused this to happen. Gehenna hasn't had any breaches since 2008. I, Sergeant Mal Grob, have been an officer here for 40 years. This man is responsible for the deaths of my brethren. He must pay for his acts. I furrow my brow at the old orc. Maybe your old green ass needs to retire, I spat. Sergeant Grimes growled with fury. Yes, I'm old, but I still have my strength and vigor to be an old orc's honorable boy. You don't know shit about my kind. You're not a warrior, and I can't wait to see you get your ass handed to you by Bobby, Sergeant Grom replied while rubbing his gray beard. Just retire already, or shut up and let's just finish this damn meeting, I spat. Silence, Warren Jabril voice boomed. Mr. Hill, try to be respectful to my staff. I won't ask you again. Mr. Hill, try to be respectful to my staff. I won't ask you again. Sergeant Brown spat on the floor and got up. I don't have time for this shit. Hey, Warden Jabril, it was great working here. I fucking resign. The room was quiet for a moment, and Warden Jabril wasn't fazed at all. You were just a number anyway, and beyond your years to be working here. Your kind breeds like rabbits, which makes them perfect for jobs like this. I'm sure many orcs are lining up to work here, Sergeant Grom. The faster you breed and multiply, the quicker you can be replaced here at Gehenna. Make sure to turn in your badge and surface weapons, the warden directed. Don't worry, I sure will. Oh yeah, I will not miss this damn place at all. I gave 40 years of my natural fucking life to this place, and this is the thanks I fucking get. No hard fucking feelings. Though, because I could get a job with one of my kinfolks at the docks or warehouse, Sergeant Grom rented. Stop your bitching and get the fuck out of here, Malgrom. Don't make me tear out your throat, Sergeant Greehide barked. Warren Jabril remained calm while the room was in dismay. Warden Jabril remained calm while the room was in dismay. He snapped his fingers and a huge thunder sound was heard in the room. The sound was so loud it caused my ears to ring. Some of the staff were panicking at the sound. My thunder snap technique always gets people to calm down, the warden said with confidence. As for you, Malgrab, your talk means nothing. Your cowardice was the real reason you survived working here for 40 years. You have used and abused your seniority over the younger guards. Juan Jabril begins to play some footage from the breach. On the screen, the camera footage shows Sergeant Grom locked himself in a storage room during the breach. He remained hidden during the entire breach. The staff looked at him with disgust. You're a damn disgrace to your kind. Wait until the Tri-Fist Alliance hears about your cowardice. Many orcs are going to shun you and run you out of the state, Captain Ronnie said. 40 years of being a coward don't get you anywhere in the orc community, August added. Sergeant Grom grunted and left the room with shame. Warren Jabril faces us and instructed us to continue the meeting. He read a few reports from other staff members and showed camera footage from the breach. Captain Ronnie decided to speak next. Benny, as a man, I will tell you the solid truth. Your actions were stupid and unwise. Not following the warden's orders permitted him to not trust you. I don't know what you're trying to prove to us, but so far your actions are foolish. Benny, you're not built for this kind of work. I think you should go back to working at mundane prisons. I couldn't believe to hear Ronnie siding against me. I thought he was cool with me and would take my side. I had an uneasy feeling in my stomach. I did my best not to speak out of turn while Ronnie was talking. The next person to speak was Mr. Techtastic. Judy Shin was also with him. I stand with Mr. Hill. Benny wasn't expecting this breach to happen. I don't fault him at all, Mr. Techtastic stated. The warden scoffed. You only defend him because you're a human. Mr. Fantastic, you are a brilliant person. Don't let your mind go to waste by defending Mr. Hill's actions. He's the no guy, and I have faith in him. Sir, I will stand with him no matter what. The tech crew is very fond of Benny, and they all give their support to Benny, Mr. Techtastic answered. Benny, you rock, Judy Shin uttered. I was glad to see Mr. Techtastic and the tech crew standing up for me. At least I knew I wasn't alone during the meeting. The warden looked toward the direction where Dr. Spark was. The doctor was nervous and knew He had to explain himself to the warden. Dr. Spark, let's hear your side of the story. Tell me all the details, and you better not leave out any important stuff, Warden Jabril demanded. Well, you see, my lab was well secured. I make sure that my subjects are locked away tight. I'm telling you, this breach is not of my doing. I suspect that one of my workers could be responsible for this breach. Interesting. Continue your story, Dr. Spark, Warren Jabril directed. I suspect Dr. Hahn is responsible for this breach. He started working at Gehenna about 5 months ago. Dr. Hahn also ran into other workers about how he should be in charge of the lab on level 4. I played dumb, but I knew he was jealous of me. I suspect that Dr. Hahn had plotted this breach to get me killed or be blamed for it, Dr. Spark mentioned. August checked to see if Dr. Hahn had shown up to work today, Warren Jabril asserted. August uses her tablet to pull up the info about the workers. She selected Dr. Charles Hahn, and his name wasn't on the list of employees that were working today. Mr. Hahn isn't present today, sir. Thank you, August, Warden Jabril said. She nodded. You're welcome, Warden Jabril. Sergeant Greyhide growls, revealing his sharp canine teeth. This means we have a traitor among us. This Dr. Hahn will not get far. If I catch him, he will wish he was never been born. He will wish he hasn't been born. Alibros Featherstring looks at Sergeant Greyhide. Easy, Ragnus. Don't rush to conclusions. We must resolve this in an orderly fashion. Don't tell me what to do, Birdman. Wolves don't take orders from birds, Sergeant Greyhide boasted. If it wasn't for my majors and Jeremiah's wisdom, your men would have lost their lives to the Hydra, Alibros replied. Whatever, bruh, Sergeant Greyhide replied. The warden continues to listen to Dr. Sparks' claim. So far, it was good to see I wasn't the main issue concerning this breach. I felt relieved for a moment until Warren Jabril looks in my direction. Now it's time to decide the fate of Mr. Hill. The warden voice boomed. Mr. Hill, you are aware that the actions you took today can end with the termination of your job? Yes, sir. I am aware that my job is on the line, I answered. It's good you understand, Mr. Benjamin Hill. I will have the staff in this room cast a vote. Depending on their votes and my final decision will determine if you get to keep your job. Sir, with no disrespect, I have done nothing wrong. It's true I have shot a goblin, but it wasn't my intention to harm no one, I pleaded. The warden wasn't hearing my plea. You still acted out of order, Mr. Hill. I gave you specific instructions to follow. You have failed to follow them, and now I have a huge mess to clean up. As I said, the staff will cast votes to see if you get to stay employed here at Gehenna. Don't worry, new guy. Things will work out in your favor. I promise you, Mr. Tatastic said while smiling with confidence. All right, it's time to cast your votes. I will go down the line and you answer me with a yay or nay. Captain Ronald Hayes, I will start with you. Should Mr. Hill keep his job here at GSP? Warden Jabril asked. Nay, Ronnie uttered. I felt betrayed to see Ronnie voting against me. I watched as the warden asked the other staff members. Nay, August Daisy Wind answered. Nay, Sergeant Ragnus Greyhide answered. That runt doesn't belong in a place like this. Get his weak ass out of here. Yay, Alabras Featherstrand answered. The whole tech crew supports you, Benny. So my answer is yay, Mr. Fantastic said. Yay, Judy Shen said. The warden looks towards Dr. Spock. I choose to be on the neutral side. I'm not taking part in this act, Dr. Spock stated. Dr. Spock, you must vote since you're a part of this meeting. So is your answer yay or nay? Warden Jabril asked. The scientist adjusted his glasses. My answer is neither, sir, Dr. Spock answered as he pressed the center of his strange medallion. Dr. Spock used the medallion to teleport himself out of the meeting. The staff was upset at this act of defiance by the strange scientist. I'm not surprised at all. Most of the scientists here rather tend to their research. Dr. Spock is a strange man ever since his possession of that strange medallion. All right, those who didn't vote, cast your votes now, the warden directed. I listened to the rest of the staff cast their votes. Jeremiah Wise Beard took my side. Shanice Dream Cotton voted yay. It was a stalemate in the room, and the staff was divided. Warren Jabril stood up with confidence and begins to address the room. It seems we have a stalemate in this matter. My decision will override all of your votes. I know some of you are fond of Mr. Hill, but I must take action to resolve this matter. Mr. Benjamin Boaz Hill, as warden of Gehenna State Prison, I hereby decided that the decision is to have you terminated. I know you just started working here, but it's my decision to make. All that you have seen here is to be wiped from your memories for your protection, Warren Jabril stated while staring directly at me. His overwhelming presence had the room in shock. I felt his piercing eyes staring into my soul. I remained calm and slammed a manila folder on the table. I grinned with confidence, and some of the staff members were murmuring. Not so fast, Warden, I shouted in the room. Have you forgotten about my contract? You just can't outright fire me, sir. I had signed a 3-year contract to be employed here. My contract says that I must serve the term here at Gehenna, so firing me will be going against the IFIB, I mentioned with confidence. The warden's brow was furrowed and had a furious look on his face. Why, you little, I cut him off. You know it's the truth, Warden. You know it's true, Warden Jabril. You can't fire me for this incident. And truth be told, I am the man for this job. I'm sure that some of the staff members in here can agree. Heck yeah! Tell him the facts, new guy, Mr. Fantastic shouted with glee. I may be new to this prison, but I've made sure to read all the fine print of my contract. I suggest you contact the director of the IFIB, I said to the warden. Oh, you bet your ass I will, Warden Jabril said while pulling out his cell phone. The warden contacted the director of the IFIB. The room went quiet for a few minutes. Can I speak to Director Nearest? Warden Jabril said to the person on the phone. I will put you on his line. Hold on a few minutes. This is Director Nearest. You better be calling me for an important reason, Zachariel, the director said. Warden Jabril explained the situation about my contract to the director of the IFIB. I knew that I must fulfill my contract, so the worst the warden can do is to suspend me for a few days. The warden slammed his fist on the table. Sir, you can't be serious. Mr. Hill is a liability to this facility, the warden snapped. Just like you and the rest of the employees of GSP. Mr. Hill is not to be blamed for this breach. Zachariah, you are the warden of this prison, so technically you are responsible for the safety of the workers, the director mentioned. That's absurd. That's absurd. Director Nearest, I suggest you let me fire Benny. Juan Jabril replied. I reviewed Mr. Hill's resume. Mr. Hill is a unique human, and I say he should deserve another chance. Even if you wanted to fire him, you couldn't. He must fulfill his contract. And also, as director of the IFIB, I have the final say so. Don't forget that, Warden Jabril. Damn it, Warden Jabril grunted. Then what should I do with Mr. Hill? A healthy couple of days off will do him good. Suspend him for a few days without pay. Mr. Hill is not going anywhere until his contract is fulfilled. Let him clear his head for a few days, Director Nearest advised. The warden ended the call with Director Nearest. I remained calm during the whole conversation. I decided to walk towards the warden to show him the proof of my contract. Ronnie stood in my way. Sit down, Benny, and wait until the warden makes his decision, Ronnie said while standing in my direction. No, I must show him the proof of my contract. After this meeting, we are having a serious conversation, Ronnie, I stated. Looking forward to hearing from you speak. Looking forward to hearing you speak your mind, Benny. Make sure to say it with your chest, Ronnie spat. Both of you cut it out, Warden Jabril demanded with his arms crossed. Mr. Hill, I'm suspending you without pay until further notice. I suggest you use this time to reflect on the errors of your ways. I wanted to terminate you, but it's my word against the director. The director of the IFIB seems to believe in second chances. Consider your ass lucky, Mr. Hill. I accept the director's decision. I will miss some of the staff members while I'm gone. I thank all of you who decided to stand up with me, I addressed the staff. Anytime, Benny. You will always be welcome in my tech nab, Mr. Fantastic said. Try not to make any foolish mistakes again, lad, Jeremiah Wisebeard added. This meeting is concluded. You may all proceed back to your workstations. Gehenna will remain on lockdown until we get to the bottom of this. So far, Dr. Charles Hahn is our prime suspect. Our agents are working diligently to catch him. Mr. Hill, I suggest you say your goodbyes to certain individuals here. You will not be allowed behind these walls for quite a time, Warren Jabril mentioned. Truth be told, I was glad that things turned out the way they did. I didn't mind being suspended without pay. I have a healthy nest egg in my bank account. I will use this time to study soup and Nahu cultures. I also can catch up on some games that I haven't played in months. I was disappointed at Ronnie for not taking my side during the meeting. I would let him know about it during our conversation. The staff members started leaving the conference room. I had my eye on Captain Ronnie. He looked at me with an intense look. We could have this talk in this room since everybody is leaving, Captain Ronnie said. I would leave y'all to your matters, Juan Jabril said while leaving the room. It was just me and Captain Ronnie in the conference room. I felt the tension in the air. I must use my words wisely when speaking to this man. I'm upset you didn't take my side during the meeting, Ronnie. How could you betray me like that? Bruh, you're letting your emotions cloud your judgment. It's not about taking sides. It's about doing what's right, Benny. Benny, you have made some careless choices since your employment here. Like what? I asked with anger. Ronnie remains calm and collected. When you challenge Bobby the Ark to a fight, word on the streets is that he still wants to fight you. His people are setting something up so you and he can fight. I suggest you start training at Aloy's gym this weekend. Oh, you fucking serious? That green-skinned son of a bitch still wants to fight me? This isn't grade school, Ronnie. Tell Bobby if he wants a fight, well, he got one. I will try my best to train at the gym. I ran it. This still doesn't change the fact you didn't stand up for me during the meeting. I don't know if I could trust you, Ronnie, I said with doubt. I'm not your enemy, Benny. I'm not your enemy, Benny. It's my duty to make sure my fellow employees are safe. You could you could have lost your life today, Benny. How do you think your loved ones would react to knowing that you were killed by? How do you think your loved ones would react to knowing that you were killed or eaten by a monster? We both know it will devastate them beyond repair. Don't take this personally, Benny. It was only business, Ronnie replied. If you're not my enemy, then why you voted against me? You know I didn't expect this breach to take place. I only acted on defense when I shot that damn goblin. Whether I shot the creature or not, Subject 027 would have defended me regardless of my actions, I replied. Benny, I understand where you're coming from, but it still doesn't change the fact you disobeyed Warden Jabril's order. What if you didn't encounter 027 and encountered 023 instead? We both know she would have turned your ass into mincemeat. You're a lucky son of a bitch, Benjamin Hill. Your mother must be a praying woman, Ronnie mentioned. Don't bring my mother in this mess, Ronnie, I spat. You don't know half the shit I went through in my early childhood, being rejected and not accepted by my peers because I chose to follow a different path. I don't have any friends, and it's hard for me to trust people. Well, playing the victim and beating yourself up isn't going to change anything about your situation. Benny, you must face your problems like a man. Don't let the past bring you down. Thinking about the past too much leads to depression. Thinking about the future too much leads to anxiety. Embrace the present and work from there, Captain Ronnie advised. Since when you have decided to be my therapist, I asked. I'm not being your therapist, Benny. I'm telling you this as a friend. Look, I know you don't trust people, bro, but let me earn your trust. I already have taken care of your gym membership at Aloy's gym. He will be expecting you to show up this Saturday at 1 p.m. Some of the staff members are very friendly towards you. I also know that you care about certain inmates here at GSP. Benny, you are a good soul. Don't let the past and hurt you experience in life tarnish your soul, Ronnie answered. I will give you another shot, Ronnie. I understand that you have a strong loyalty to Warden Jabril. I still have many things to learn about GSP. No matter how much I ran it today, I can't deny the fact you have saved my ass many times. I owe you and Shonice my gratitude, I admitted. Ronnie chuckled. That's great to hear, bro. How was the treatment in the Corona tank? It felt heavenly being submerged inside the Corona tank. Shanice gives a scalp massage that will make even a giant bow down, I joke. The substance has my body feeling brand new. My energy is off the charts, and I feel like I'm 17 again. I think I will be ready to train at Aloy's gym. I can't run from Bobby forever, so I must face him like a man. Yeah, the Corona tank will do that to you. I have been submerged inside a few times myself. The experience is wonderful, and many beings should be grateful to be treated inside the tank. The Fae are some of the best doctors that I know of. Elven medicine is one of the best on the market amongst non-humans. Elves practice holistic healing and believe in using natural medicine that comes from nature, Ronnie mentioned. I'm glad we was able to sort this out between us, Ronnie. I have no ill will toward you, bro. I understand you were only looking out for me, I said with my hand extended out. Ronnie and I shook hands to settle the conflict. After that, we decided to head to my work area. Since I was being suspended, I might as well say goodbye to some of the staff members and inmates at GSP. All right, so this is conclusion of chapter 13. What an intense meeting. This was a great chapter so far. Seems like Benny almost lost his job thanks to this. Since the breach happened, Warden Jabril wanted to fire Bennett, but the director of the IFIB overturned the warden's decision because I guess the director Nearest, he's above the warden. He's in charge of the IFIB, which stands for International Fay Intelligence Bureau. That's what the organization stands for. And director Nearest, he's in charge. He's like the director, And so, yeah, man, the warden really wants to get rid of him. And, I'm glad to see that Captain Ronnie and Benny worked out their differences. So, and by the way, I got chapter 14 completed. So chapter 14 gonna be uploaded either on tomorrow night or whenever. But I'm gonna go ahead and upload this soon because I know it's been long overdue. Everybody been asking me, Moshe, when you gonna post some more? When you gonna post some more? Well, stay tuned. I will post this up soon. All right.